first time ever in life catching some kind of backlash or heat for saying the N word. I was in the military and I'd thrown a party and I was finding out that I had a bunch of DVDs that had been stolen. And so I walk into the office like, which one of y'all niggas got my shit? And and there was this I guess sergeant there. Yeah, he was a sergeant and he was just upset. He was like really feeling some kind of way. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm black. I can say it. But apparently not. And I got reprimanded. And it really did, you know, blow my mind because coming up, it was always just socially acceptable for, I mean, we used it every day. It wasn't a big deal, but being in this different space, it was like, no, you can't just up and say it, regardless if you're black, if the person you're saying it to is black. No, you just can't say the word. Oh my goodness. All right, cool. But I bring that up because, well, it's 2019. This happened back in 2000. So it was 2019. And there are still some folks that didn't get the memo. Tisk, tisk, tisk. This is coming to us from ESPN. Racial epithets, a star benched and a coach questioned inside the LA Sparks' chaotic finish. This is written by Ramona Shelburne. Now, I didn't even know that the WNBA was in the middle of their playoffs. I don't know their seasons. I really do not pay attention to this league by any stretch of the imagination. So you should imagine my, um, surprise in A, knowing that their general manager was a black woman, but well, which really shouldn't be a surprise, but B, finding out exactly who she was. So, uh, Shelburne, Sparks GM speech made players uncomfortable. Ramona Shelburne discusses Sparks GM Penny Toler making a speech containing racial epithets to her team after its Game 2 loss to the Sun. Editor's note, the Los Angeles Sparks fired general manager Penny Toler on October 4th, a day after the story was originally published. Toler had been with the team for 20 years. Wow. I mean, how you been with the team this long? The exact same length of time between me learning that regardless if you're black, you're just not allowed, quote unquote, to say it, even though I don't think anybody should have such restrictions put on them. I like, when it comes to speech, say what you want, say what you will, it is what it is, deal with the consequences, but you should be free to say it. Like, I really don't care, but this is a part of the consequences. Coach Derek Fisher is expected to remain the Sparks coach next season. Candace Parker looked dejected. Alana Beard hid her tears with a towel. Nika, yeah, I'm not trying that, sat on the bench, staring out at the game in the Los Angeles Sparks season that was unraveling in front of them. 3 future Hall of Famers. For what? Like, all on the bench as the Connecticut Sun swept the Sparks out of the WNBA semifinals. Over a week has passed since LA's confounding Game 3 collapse, a 78 to 56 loss, in which Parker played only 11 minutes and all 5 Sparks starters were benched by the end of the third quarter. Afterwards, Parker said she was healthy and recommended that reporters ask Sparks coach Derek Fisher why her minutes had been so limited. Fisher explained post-game that we've had an issue sustaining energy over 40 minutes against this team in this series, and he was just trying to get fresh bodies in so we could continue to bang and rebound and run the floor and communicate defensively. It wasn't in any way to single Candace out, I know it's Candace Parker, and critics are going to try to make it about her 11 minutes, but it was just about trying to do something different that I thought would try to help us win. However, multiple Sparks players and league sources told ESPN they believed Fisher's decision to pull Parker was premeditated and influenced by a contentious speech given by general manager Penny Toler after the Sparks' listless 94-68 loss in Game 2, in which Parker was ineffective, scoring 3 points and attempting only 3 field goals in 26 minutes. After Game 2 on September 19th in Connecticut, Toler entered the Sparks locker room and challenged the team with an obscenity-laced speech that also included several racial epithets, sources said. Toler, who is African-American, seriously, check the lineage, did not dispute the use of the N-word in that speech, but stressed that she never directed it at her players. Oh, do you not know the time you live in, Miss Toler? You could direct it at the wind all you want. If someone of authority catches wind of you using the word, yeah, you're gonna have a problem. By no means did I call my players the N-word, Toler told ESPN. I'm not saying that I couldn't have used it in a context, but it wasn't directed at any of my players. It's unfortunate I used that word. I shouldn't. Nobody should. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Oh, I shouldn't, and nobody should. Nobody should ever use that word that I was just abounding about recklessly that I use literally every day. Because I can guarantee you she uses the word every damn day. Okay? Stop it. No one should. But like I said, I'm not here to defend word by word by word what I said. I know some of the words that I'm being accused of are embellished. Did I give a speech that I hope would get our team going? Yes. I think that this whole conversation has been taken out of context because when we lose emotions, we're running high, and unfortunately, and obviously, some people feel some type of way. Ooh, there's a lot of weave on her head, man. Several Sparks players told ESPN that the speech made them feel uncomfortable and showed total disrespect, as Toler called them MFers and suggested she replace them next year if they got swept by the Sun. You can't say that in 2019, one player told ESPN. I'm curious, like, how many, like, this just is not something that happens. And, like, definitely on the men's side, yeah. This definitely doesn't happen on the men's side. Didn't somebody get reprimanded for saying it, like, for saying it, like one of the foreign players said it, got reprimanded and charged like 25 grand because it was just a part of his vernacular. And if he says it that freely in front of the press, they just talking mad snap in the locker room. But man, this is very, very I think interesting is the best way to put this, because for one, like I said, even back then, I was well under the impression that there was no consequences that could come of being black and using the word, because, oh man, we ain't got nothing else. You gonna take this from us too? But apparently, past Sparks players interviewed by ESPN said they heard Toler use language like that before, so they weren't shocked to hear about the nature of her speech after game 2. All y'all chicks are like dudes. Most of y'all talk like that. I'm sorry. I've seen female AAU players. I've seen female high school players. I've seen female college players. Y'all all, like, for the most part, y'all all talk like that. It's a part of the culture there. So to sit there like, oh my goodness, this is such a devastating thing. I mean, seriously, I can't help but feel like they may have had other reasons to want to get rid of her, but this this was able to get her out the door. Penny is competitive, one former player said, but it's definitely not okay to talk like that, because everybody, I can guarantee you, whoever said that uses the word 30. I'm thinking about the episode of the Boondocks where Riley was suing the teacher for saying it, and the teacher was like, yo, he says it every time, every day. He says it so much, it's just a part of my vernacular now. Like, seriously, like, this is a problem, because I am a free speech advocate. I believe you should be able to say whatever the hell you so desire, and it's up to the person listening to be an adult, to be the adult in the situation and be like, okay, like, if you don't like it, I'm not saying, oh, just take any verbal abuse that somebody gives you. No, but not by any stretch of imagination. But if something is said in way of jest or in an endearing type manner, I think that context does matter. Context matters a whole hell of a lot. And the deal is that when it comes to this free speech that everybody wants to censor, it's contextless. There's no context. They just, oh, you said the word, so we gotta completely shut you on down, and that's bullshit. It really is. Toler, who became the Sparks general manager in 1999 and has been a part of 3 WNBA championships, 2001, 2002, 2016, said her speech was meant to fire up the team before it flew home to Los Angeles for Game 3, and that several players afterwards thanked her for doing so. She wouldn't identify who those players were. Say, Shelburne, the same way you're not identifying who said, oh, Penny is competitive, one former player said, but it's definitely not okay to talk like that. Yeah, you're not identifying your people, so don't sit here and act like she wouldn't identify who those players were. That's adorable. I've been in sports my whole life, said Toler, who scored the first basket in WNBA history in 1999 as a member of the Sparks. It's not about losing. It's about how we're losing. In 1997, I'm sorry. It's about how we're losing. When I know we have a lot more to give. So I come to the locker room and I'm trying to give us, obviously, a spirited speech to get everybody going. Hey, get up and let's get going. So hold on. She scored the first basket because this is why I kind of messed up the numbers right there. So she scored the first WNBA basket in 1999, and she's been their GM since 2000, right? So yeah, she became the manager. So you only played 2 years? Yeah, oh my goodness. All right. Oh, you know what? Whatever. Okay. Whatever. If I offended someone, I didn't mean to offend anyone. But my point is, I was saying what I was thinking, and I have the right to do that as the GM. I've been the GM for 20 years, and this is the first time something like this has occurred. Clearly, some people were offended. That wasn't the message I was going for, obviously. And that clearly is not the reason we lost game 3. And if that was the reason, what was the reason we lost the first two? I wasn't in the locker room then. So I felt, man, I can't, because she looks like poor Niecy Nash, who I don't find that attractive in the first place. But yeah, so when it comes down to the usage of the word, I do believe it's a matter of free speech and it's a matter of context. Like, but I also can't help but feel that everybody in the organization knew this was a part of her language, knew this was a part of her repertoire. They just saw an opportunity to get rid of her and boom, jumped all over it. Like that's really what this is feeling like to me. But then again, this is the WNBA. So real talk, the only reason I'm having a conversation is A, to laugh at the WNBA a little bit, and secondly, because there is this component of the N word, and we're now reaching this where we've long past reached the point where, no, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a weird space to be in, where you'll have a Caucasian person get offended by somebody black using the N word, and then it's like, oh wait, what? Oh, now you gotta fire people and stuff. But hey, it is what it is. So with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, yeah, go ahead and do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and bitch you didn't like, they don't like me like that. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? Is there is there more to the story? Maybe there's something that I'm missing. Do you feel like, hey, the N-word was a small trade-off for 400 years of slavery? I don't know. But either ways, man, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until the next one.